Hello, everybody. Today I am going to go over my final project for 6510 here, talking about the trends, assignment, kind of the reflection after writing the paper. So, the first thing, my trend, cell phones and their impacts on schools, students. One of the biggest things I was looking for is to see how cell phones are being incorporated in the classroom and to see what different policies there are on cell phones. I know many schools in the area around Osakis where I teach have different device policies. Depending on the school, some students can use devices at any time, other schools have devices locked away. So I was interested to see where my research would take me. Some trend pros and cons here. Some pros: cell phones have access to great learning capabilities. Sorry, I see that got cut off. And can make life easier. Tons of tools. We're talking virtual reality, calculators, easy devices to look up answers / kind of get instant knowledge. So a lot of variety of uses there. Some cons: increased distractions, students texting all the time, messaging, always on social media, which comes along with increased risk behavior. So students are seen indulging in those risky behaviors because of cell phones, because access to people is so common. Now, some analysis of sources. So what I found, the people that are for cell phones, or the group that are for cell phones, often like it because it gives students options and control. Students are allowed to keep devices so they don't feel restrained, so they're going to respond better to classroom procedures. Many resources to use, like I said, virtual reality, kind of just incorporating the cell phone in the classroom, whether it be every day or every couple days, is going to help. Digital citizenship as well, teaching students how to be great learners on their phones and teaching them the proper use of devices so they do not get in trouble later on down the road. That was the group that was for cell phones, and the research showed those were the three main outcomes of why we should have cell phones in school. Now, the other side was against phones. There was a campaign called Away for the Day Initiative, which puts cell phones away in lockers or a school management facility that students do not get to touch their phones for the whole day of school until the end of the day. It cuts down on distractions, and actually one of the statistics they said is that 6.4% increase on test scores, which is awesome. So I saw that initiative and I kind of did some more research on that and found that some Minnesota schools are actually a part of the Away for the Day initiative, and they do not allow cell phones in their schools during school day hours. Students have to keep them in their locker and they're not allowed to access them at any time during the day. I would classify this more as an old school approach, kind of going back to when cell phones weren't as big of a thing and just taking them out of the equation as a whole. So you can see kind of two different sides colliding from what the research states. And honestly, I'd say I'm somewhere in the middle. So my thoughts going into it, I was what should I do? I don't really know what I should do. And afterwards, I found out that I am kind of in the middle. And my thought is because of my age. I'm a very young teacher, so cell phones I've kind of grown up with in my life, and I relate to students a little more on some of the technology things. So I think we should keep phones in the classroom, but put them away when not in use, such as a calculator, phone holder, where students walk into the room, put it in there, and it stays in there for the hour. And if you're going to use them for the day, you tell students to take them out, you use them, then you put them back. So this way it fits the technology piece, but also keeps them away and not distracted. So it's kind of both. You kind of get the best of both worlds to use the cell phone, but also put it away so students don't have it. The biggest thing I found is policy consistency is key. Each teacher has to do the same thing. School districts get in trouble when they put a policy in place and then each teacher adapts that policy to meet the different needs of them. So a student will get comfortable using a phone in one class, go to the next one where they can't use it and get in trouble, but say so-and-so told me I could in their class. So consistency is key. Every teacher needs to do the same thing. That is the biggest thing that my research found. Everybody has to be on the same page. There can't be any loopholes with a certain class. It was very interesting to see, and I'm hoping to use some of this information to come and talk to my school district about cell phones.